Good morning, my friends. I hope you're having a great end to your week. Happy Sunday. Today, we're playing something a little bit different. The reason for it is that I've gone and picked up a problem with my ears, which I've got a little spray for and whatever, but they've advised me not to wear headphones for the next couple of weeks. So it means that I'm limited to only playing games that do not require sound. Okay, so I'm playing silently. You guys can obviously hear the game audio, but I can't, because if I were to have the game audio on, it would get picked up by the mic, and then you'd get feedback, and it would just be a horrible viewing experience for everyone. So that means we're not playing Obduction today, as we usually would on our Sunday stream, and because I'm also on vacation next week, we're not going to be playing Obduction next week either. Next episode of Obduction is going to be in 2 weeks' time. Today, though, we're going to play some Human Resource Machine, which is a game that I've been recording my progress of. So this will be episode 3 or episode 4, I believe. I need to actually, I should probably actually check that. This will be either episode 3 or episode 4 when it goes up on YouTube. Hello to those of you on YouTube in the future. If you've been enjoying the Human Resource Machine playthrough, and you were unaware that I have a Twitch channel, come and subscribe on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/thatdesignfeel. For those of you here today, though, we're going to play a little bit of this brain-meltingly hard puzzle game. This game is like, it definitely does not mess around. We'll see how we get on. Can we do an hour and a half of this game? If not, I've got the chess stream lined up, so we might be half and half. Usually I can only play like half an hour to an hour of this game before it absolutely just does a number on me, because this game requires some real in-depth thinking. Okay, first of all, we've got a little bit of a story section, Midnight Petroleum. So we're around about halfway through this game now, but the puzzles are definitely going to get harder from here on in. So this is someone having a coffee whilst everything goes a little bit wrong. I have no idea if the sound that you're hearing right now actually adds to this or not, what it's supposed to be implying. But, so I know that the story of this game is around sort of machines taking over. Shooty chess game? I have no idea what you're talking about there, Meredith. Like, shooty chess game? I'm down. What is that game? I was literally talking about literally playing some chess. So we hit 1,000 ELO recently. Hit 1,000 ELO in June. That was my target for 2023, actually, 1,000 ELO. Now, let's see if we can hit 1,100, right? Here we go. Big changes are coming. But I see you already know that. Yes, you can now access slots on the floor indirectly. What does that mean? You will see. It's going to change everything. Here we go. Right, yes. Imagine each thing in the inbox is an address, and each address refers to a tile 0 to 9 on the floor. Your task is for each address in the inbox, pick up the letter at that address and outbox it. Congratulations, you can now access tiles on the floor indirectly. Observe this example to see how it works, comparing to what you've been doing so far. So, for those of you who've not seen this game so far, we have items in the inbox. We need to produce items in the outbox by writing pseudocode into this right-hand menu here. So let's see how copy from 12 and copy from bracket 12 works. So copy from 12 will take something. Oh, I see, right. Copy from 12 will take whatever item is in address number 12. copy from 12 will look at what's in 12 and copy from the address at the address that 12 is in this case 8. So if I just say copy from 12, right, the guy does not need to go to 12 to read what's in 12. That's important in terms of working this out, right? Because what's in address 12 will literally just point. So how do I say copy from... Oh, right, okay, there's a toggle switch here. So, for each address in the inbox, pick up the letter at that address and outbox it. So, just inbox, copy that to an address, copy from whatever that is, and outbox it. And then we're just going to jump straight to the top, yeah? So we're just going to dump it in there, grab whatever's at the address, and then loop back round. So then it's going to find what's in 5, drop it into the outbox, and then it's just going to do the same thing again. So, that example, straightforward enough for now. Use 5 or fewer commands. We hit it in 5, that's excellent. 25 or fewer steps, did it in 25 steps. Perfect. String storage floor. Special covert assignment. Management is requesting strings from the floor. Let's just process the strings and not read or discuss what they say. It would be impolite to read messages intended for someone else and forbidden. So, for each thing in the inbox is an address of a tile on the floor. For each address provided in the inbox, right, so 24 has been left blank, 24 is where we need to copy it to. For each address provided in the inbox, outbox the requested item from the floor and all following items on the floor until you reach a 0 and repeat. Fine. So we're going to grab it from the inbox. We're going to copy it to 24, which is going to be called mem for memory. Okay? So we're going to copy it into this memory address here. We're then going to copy from what's in mem. And you want to outbox that. And you want to outbox the requested item from the floor and all following items until you reach a 0. So I think we can assume that the first item itself is not going to be a 0. Right? I think we can make that assumption. Because it does say then following items. And that's going to save us one step, right, in the algorithm. So, copy from mem, it's going to end up with a thing, and you want to outbox that. Then you need to bump up mem copy from the memory again, and you're basically going to keep doing that, and then if 0 you're going to end. Okay, if not 0 you're going to jump back to somewhere earlier. Okay. Now, let's work out the most efficient way of doing this. So you're going to copy from mem outbox, bump up mem, and then copy from mem. If that's 0, you need to end, and you need to go all the way back to the inbox. Fine. If it's not 0, you just need to go back to the outbox again. Right, you just need to outbox it. I think this will work. And that's not very many steps. I kind of like that. So let's try it out. So 4 is going to pop in here. Shotgun King. I like it. Now we're going to bump this up to 5. Now we're going to grab H. So this is fine. Now we're going to bump that up to 6. We're going to grab 0. And that's going to tell us to go get the next number. Now shoot, I hear an alarm going off in the next room. So you guys enjoy that for a moment. I'll be back in a minute. I hope you guys enjoyed the sound of progress being made whilst I was in the other room. That was just an alarm in the adjoining bedroom going on. I mean, it's Sunday morning, right? Who sets their alarm earlier than 9:30 on a Sunday? But this appears to be working perfectly fine. So let's go and speed this up and get it going. Does it like it? Yeah, looks like it was happy with the assumption that I made. So use 7 or fewer commands. Oh, what? You gotta do it in 7 commands? Okay, did it in 203 or fewer steps, but yeah. Do it in 7 or fewer commands. Wow, 24-hour streams? Who's doing 24-hour streams? Is that like a charity thing? Okay, string of rows. I reckon we could save commands but add steps by removing these and changing where the jump is, potentially. Affiliate celebration stream. Oh, very nice. A 24-hour stream. That's a long stream. That's a long stream. Hello. How are you today? Okay, now seriously. For each 0 terminated string, and we read about those previously, right? 0 terminated strings are when you hit a 0, that's the end of the string. Okay. For each 0 terminated string in the inbox, reverse it and put the results in the outbox. Repeat. Okay, we're going to need to keep that as 0. And we're going to need a counter here. Okay. The first thing you're going to need to do at the start of all of them is you're going to copy from 0 and you're going to copy it to the counter. Then we're going to inbox. We're going to inbox to the count. Right. And then we're going to need to bump up the count, bump up count. And we're going to loop around that until we're holding a 0. Okay, so what this is going to do is right at the start we're going to reset the count. Okay, so count is going to go back to 0 at the start of every turn. Right, so we're going to put a big jump in here right at the end. At the start of every round, at the start of every string, we're going to reset the count. We're going to inbox to count and then up count, and we're going to inbox these out. If we hold 0, we're then going to start doing the outbox. If we're not holding 0, we just keep grabbing the next one, we keep copying it out, and then we keep bumping the count up. There is a step we can save here, actually, because we could bump it after, right? So you copy it to count. No. We want to jump if the inbox is 0, don't we? Right? You inbox something, and if it's 0, you're now going to reverse it. If it's not 0, you're going to copy it to count and bump up count. But you also don't need to bump up count before you check the inbox, do you? Now, I'm not sure we can save that actually, because bumping up the count puts the value into your hand. So I think, I'm not sure if we can save that step. But that's okay, right. We're going to inbox. If it's 0, we're going to reverse the string based on where the count is. If it's not 0, you're going to copy it to the count value. Do you know what? We could save a step by doing it here. Couldn't we? It costs us 1 extra step for every string. But it saves us a step when we then reverse it. Okay. It's easier to think of it if it's this way around. It's easier to think of it if it's this way around. Right. So we're going to reset the count to 0. We're going to grab a number. If it's 0, we're going to go and then reverse it. If it's not 0, we're going to copy the number to a memory location, and then we're going to bump up count. And then we're going to go grab the next number out of the inbox. Okay. When we reverse it, the first thing we're going to need to do is bump down count, because it's going to be 1 number too high. Right? And then we're going to copy from count's address, outbox it, and bump down count. And I'm going to jump all of that, and then if 0, that's going to be the end. So yeah, actually, so jump if 0, well, that goes all the way back to the top then. Okay, let's try this out. Not sure if this is going to work, but that's fine. So count starts at 0. Actually, do you know what? We don't need to reset. We don't need count and 0 to be different. If this works, actually, 0, you could actually just count up and count all the way down again. You don't necessarily need to reset it, because count should end at 0. Every time. Ah, no, it's not grabbing from 0. It's not grabbing from 0. Okay. So. So we don't need that to be called 0. We'll call that count now. And we'll just bin that one. Yeah. So we're going to start at 0. That's going to count up. Oh, okay, now it's gone all sorts of wrong. Okay, now it's gone all sorts of wrong. Wait, what did it do wrong there? So it's going to count up. Yep. And that's fine. It's counting perfectly fine. Now it's going to hit 0. And now jump if 0. Copy from where we are. Copy it to outbox. Bump down count. Copy from there. Go to the outbox. Right. We need to move that somewhere like that, don't we? Okay, we've got to think about the edge cases here. So, okay, grab a number. If that number is 0, we want to go and start reversing it. Fine. If it's not 0, we're going to copy the number to count and we're going to bump count up. Fine. Then we're going to start reversing it. I think the first thing we want to do is bump the count down. I think we need an extra bump down count. No, I don't think that's right. Now we're going to reverse it. Because it's going to end up 1 too high. It should get all of... Wait. What happened there? That was not correct anyway. Right. So that was fine. Now go to the inbox. Okay, you should jump if 0. And now you should start reversing it. No, you're still holding 0. You need to bump the count down first. Do you need to do a copy from count to check whether you're now holding 0? Maybe. Okay. I'm going to put it down here, put it down here, put it down here. Right, now let's step through this. I'm going to hold 0. Now you're going to copy from position 3, outbox that. Now you're not holding 0, so now you're going to copy from position 2. This looks like it might be working. Now you're going to copy from position 0. Now you need to hold that. Now you need to go here. Okay, this might work now. Hey! There we go, alright. We did it in 11 commands. 122. Oh, we did it in 118 steps. There we go. We did it, team. We did it. Oh, I've just spotted Meredith resubscribed for 1 month. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is 2 months you've been subscribed for. So enjoy the new puzzle piece. I believe 2 months is stone. Okay. Pleased to get both likes on that one. That was a tough one. Okay, next. Inventory report. We're not actually that far from finishing the game. This is the whole game. So I believe there are only 40 levels. So this is getting towards the end of the game now. This is the really complicated, complex stuff. Okay, inventory check. Accounting verification. Surprise audit. These are a few of my favourite things. So let's get started. For each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the total number of matching items on the floor. Wow. What happens if you subtract a string value from another string value. Does that work? How do you check if two string values match? We're going to need to experiment with that. If I take that and subtract from here, what happens? And if I instead subtract from here... Oh, now I'm doing x minus a. Uh-huh. And if I subtract it from here... It's 0. Okay. So each string character has an underlying number. You can do addition and subtraction on them. So that's fine. We've got a 0 right here for some reason. Does it think we need 0? The total number of matching floor items. Well, we'll make that a counter then. No, we won't. We're going to leave that as 0 because we are going to need a reset this time. And we'll make this one I, because we need to loop over each of the locations from I equals 1 to 13. Yeah. And 0 is how we know to stop. Right, okay. I'm visualizing it now. What we're going to do is we're going to pick up an item. We're going to put it down in slot 16, right, which we'll call our test. Right, this is the number we want to test against. And we're not going to change test, okay? I is going to iterate from 0 up to 14, effectively. So, every loop, we're going to grab a copy of test. We will go to the location that I is pointing to. See if 1 minus the other equals 0. If so, we increase count. Once I starts pointing to 0, we then just output count onto the conveyor belt, and then we need to reset everything. Okay? So that's how that's going to work. So, what do we need to do initially? We are first of all... Okay, we're first of all going to copy from 0, and we're going to copy it to I, copy it to count, yeah, and we'll go with that. So then inbox, and copy that to test. Now, here's the first part of the loop. We want to... Now we already have test in our hand. We are going to subtract I. If the answer to that is 0, we want to plus the counter. Okay? If the answer to that is not 0, we need to go and we need to bump up I. No, do you know what? Right, scratch that. Whether 0 or not 0, we want the same steps to happen. Right? Whether 0 or not 0, we want the same steps to happen. So this is going to bump up count. And then we want the same steps to happen. You are going to bump up I, regardless anyway. you are then going to copy from test. And then I think you might want to loop back to position 6. Copy from test, then you're going to subtract I. Yeah. You're going to subtract I. You're going to increment count if it's 0, otherwise you're just going to bump I up, copy from test, and then subtract I. Okay. How do you know? Well, so we need to have a test that what is in position I is not 0. Yeah. We need to run that test every loop. It would be really handy to just have a number 13. Like, and then you could just be like, well, if I is 13, just stop. But yeah. So where's the best place to put the test? Because what you need to do, because we need to test all 13 of these every time. Bit of a tricky one, actually. I mean, like we can do it by just adding a test into every loop that says, okay, pick up the block at I, if it's 0, do something else. But the whole point of just going, okay, subtract I, rather than copy from test and subtract I, you could copy from I and subtract test each time. Because then you are holding what's in. Because this current way, you never hold in your hand what is in each address. Only the output of the subtraction. So let's try and do it the other way around, okay? So we're going to copy to test. So we're going to add an extra step at the start, right? Because rather than just jumping straight to sub I, we are going to do copy from I and sub subtest, right, subtract test. And then if that's 0, increment the count, bump up I, and then we don't need copy from test anymore because copy from I is in there. So that removes. And then when you've copied from I, if that is 0, you have tested everything. So we have tested all. And at that point, we can just put count into outbox. Copy from count, go to outbox. And then we do need to reset everything. So we're going to jump from 16 right the way back to the top. Okay. I think that's it. 16 commands. What do you guys think? Let's have a look. So, we're going to first seed everything with zeros. We're going to put A down, put B into our hands, minus A, and then we're going to start looking at the next one. Yummy Sushi in the chat. Hello, hello. How are you, sir? So we're just going through, testing everything, incrementing the count up. Now this game, Yummy Sushi, is so educational, you might as well think that it's school. So we are learning how to code, we're learning all about memory addresses. Ah, Kevin is watching, can you explain the game? Okay, so at the moment, our guy is doing our output. What we have is we have items in our inbox here. We have instructions as to what we need to output, and we have to write code that will do that. So let me just pause this for the moment. So our instructions for this level is for each thing in the inbox, send to the outbox the total number of matching items on the floor. What is on the floor is effectively a set of memory addresses, and we have to write some pseudocode that is going to write the correct output for us. So it's an assembly style programming language. What we're going to do is we have a 0 here, which is handy for us. We're going to copy that to I, and I is going to increment the memory locations for us. Count is going to keep count of how many of those items are the same. Then we're going to grab something out of the inbox, copy it to our test address, and then copy from the address that I points to. So it will start at 0 and it's going to increment up, and that's going to point to a different address to copy the contents of that address for us. We're going to increment all the way up. When we have 0, we have tested everything on the floor, and then we just take it whatever's in the count and put that in the outbox. But until we reach 0, we're going to subtract whatever's on the floor from what we're holding in test, and if that's 0, we increment the count. So that's, in theory, how this should work. And so our guy goes and he puts 0, seeds 0 for us, grabs an item. He's now not holding 0, he's going to grab A, test A, that's going to provide 0, so he's going to increment count. And then we're going to increment to address number 2, grab X. X and A are not equal, so he's just going to increment the address again, go to B. So the answer to this one should output a 4 for us once it's incremented every address. And at the end, if you write code that does the instruction, it will then score you on how efficient your code was. So yeah, this is, I would describe this as barely a video game. This is fully educational. You get interrupted if it ever goes wrong, incidentally. So the fact that it's still churning through means that it is at least correct for now. And that is that level. Year 32 done. So use 16 or fewer commands. I used 16, so that's fine. 393 or fewer steps. We did it in 435. Okay, so we could have made that more efficient. Okay, a little bit of story here. Where's Carol? Now, as I said at the start of the stream, I'm not actually wearing my headphones, so I can't actually hear anything in the game.
Oh my god. This coffee is amazing. Back to work, ladies.
can't really remember much about what the story is. The story is related to something to do with robots taking over. Previous reports of a machine army evaluate to false. Everything equals 100% fine.
For human skin layer, you're all going to be fine.
Okay, Vowel Incinerator. Hi Yishul. What's the meaning of this? Management is attempting to reduce bandwidth by removing all vowels from every word. Good luck. Send everything from the inbox to the outbox except for vowels. Ah, Nimue, back in the chat. Hello. Hello. Okay, send everything from the inbox to the outbox except for vowels. So every item... So we're going to take an item. We're going to test it against 5 locations. If it passes every test, we put it in the outbox. Otherwise, we're just going to grab the next item. So that's fine enough. That's fine enough. So we've got a 0 here, which is handy. We will copy the item down into test. So that's the item we need to test from. We're going to need an incrementer. So at the very start, you're going to want to copy from 0 and copy it to the incrementer, yeah? So we're going to copy our number from test. We are going... So we copy to test. That means we're already holding it. So we can sub from I. Now using the square brackets here points us to the address rather than pointing to the address labelled I. It points to the location which is in the contents of the address. So copy to test, that means we're going to hold it in our hand still, then we're going to subtract what's in I. If it's 0, yeah, if it's ever 0, we're just going to increment straight back to the top. Because that means it's a vowel. If it's not 0, we're going to bump up I, copy from test, and jump. Oh yeah, what's our terminator? Oh, our terminator is if we get to this 0 here, isn't it? Because this is address number 5, so that's fine. So we'll copy from test and then subtract I again. So we're going to bump I. And I tell you what, I've done it the wrong way around in exactly the same way that I did it last time, because what we need is we need a test to see if you're holding 0. So you're copying it to test. We want to sub test, right? We want to copy from I. And do you know what? Oh, we could maybe even make it slightly more efficient if you do it that way round first. So inbox, copy to test, then grab 0, copy 0 to I, then you don't need copy from I first time. You can just sub-test. And then you're holding I anyway? No, you've bumped I, and then you are still going to need to copy from I. Right, okay. So we've saved ourselves a line of code there as well. So inbox, copy to the test location, then grab a 0 and put 0 in your indexer. No, you are still going to need a copy from. You are still going to need a copy from. Because you're holding 0 currently. Is it just me, or is the sound a bit too loud compared to your narration? Okay, yeah, I will turn that down. So let's just turn that down to about there. Is that better? I haven't touched the sound settings since starting. We did a quick audio check right at the start of the stream, so obviously this is a new game. But yeah, hopefully the sound's not too out of sync. Because this is a stream, I can't actually fiddle with the sound settings in post, unfortunately. So if the sound is a bit too loud, we're a bit stuck for that in the YouTube. Cozy. I mean, is the sound better now? Great. Okay, so where were we? Right, we're going to inbox. Okay, that's good. Okay, copy to test, copy from 0, copy that to I. Then we're going to copy from here. That's where we want to do jump if 0, because if you've jumped if 0, you have ended that. Okay? You've reached the ends of your tests. So we're going to copy from I, subtract the value in test. If that's 0, go back to the start. If it's not 0, bump up the incrementer and jump back. Great. If you get through all of your tests and you've not had to go back to the start, you've bumped up I unnecessarily. But what you're going to do is you're going to copy from the test and you're just going to outbox it and go back to the start. And I think that is going to be fine. So we're going to test the first value, test the second value, test the third value, test the fourth value, and then discard it. Test first, test second, test third, test fourth, test fifth, and then grab the item. Cool, so that should work. Is that the most efficient way you could have written that? Probably not. Probably not. Nightbot in the chat, just reminding everyone to go and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already. This is part of a longer playthrough if you want to see some of the earlier levels. Okay, we hit 13 commands, that's great. 323 steps. 321 steps. Lovely. Okay, great. So, where do we want to go? Do we want to go up the alphabetizer first? Go on, let's go up the optional path first. So these are the super hard levels, and then we should have an easier run then to the end of the game. These are your super hard optional levels. Please be advised, this optional hallway is for advanced employees only. Incoming message. You will receive 2 words. One is a decoy. A false lead, a red herring. The other is part of an important message. The inbox contains exactly 2 words. Right, so we can assume there's only ever 2 words. Determine which word comes first if you were to order them alphabetically and send only that word to the outbox. And I can see right now that we're going to need to test more than the first letter. Oh, okay. That is not an easy thing to think through. Okay, how are we going to test that? We're going to need to be able to hold both words in memory, for sure. Do the words have to be the same length? That's not specified. So we can't rely on the words... Yeah, can't rely on the words being the same length. We're going to need to hold both words in memory. So we are going to need to first loop through and put both words onto the floor. That's probably the first place to start. So, now what's this 10 for? Okay, tell me more. Facilities management has left some useful numbers on the floor for you. They were just here. Did you see them pass you in the elevator? The 10, I'm going to go ahead and assume, is going to be the limit on the length of each individual word. Right, because they've given us 22 memory addresses in total, 24 memory addresses in total. So I'm going to assume that neither of the words can be longer than 10. Will the game be happy with that assumption? Possibly, not sure. So that means what we can do... Let's have an incrementer of I, an incrementer of j. Copy from here, copy that to I, copy from here, copy that to j. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to inbox, copy to I. We're going to put the first word between 0 and 9, and we're going to put the second word from 10 upwards. I'm going to make the bold assumption that neither word can be longer than 10 characters long, which obviously isn't the case in reality, but I'm going to assume the game is okay with that because it's provided us 10 on the floor. So, inbox, copy it to I. If you're holding 0 when you go to the inbox, we're going to go to the second word, okay? Otherwise, inbox, copy it to I, bump up I. And then go and grab the next thing out of the inbox. After you have jumped to 0, you are then going to go to the inbox, you're going to copy it to J. Yeah, so that'll be 10 initially. Now, of course, if it's 0, you now have both words. Both done. Okay. Copy it to J, and then we're going to bump up J. Okay, right. I think I'm seeing how this is going to come together now. And after that, you're going to jump back and going to grab something else. Right. So that's going to get both words onto the floor. What we're then going to do is we are going to reset both counters. So copy from 0, copy it to I, copy from 10, copy it to J. We're going to reset both counters, and then we're going to start taking one, subbing the other, and if negative, we're then going to, we will know, right? So, start, test. We will copy from. Now, what's the easier way to do it? Do we want to take away the first word from the second word, yeah? And then if negative, the second word is bigger than the first word. So then the first word. So if negative, the first word is first alphabetically. Yeah? So we're going to copy from I. And we're going to subtract J. First, let's do if 0. If 0, you're going to bump up I, you're going to bump up J, and you're going to jump and do the same test again. And you're going to keep doing it until you don't get 0 anymore. If you go all the way through, they're the same word. And I'm assuming the game's not going to do that for us. I'm going to make an assumption that we are guaranteed 2 different words. Okay? Then we're going to jump. Okay? Because if it is not 0... You know what? We don't actually need the jump. We don't need the jump. Right. We do need a jump if negative. Okay. So if it is negative after substituting J, output first word. Yeah. If it is not negative, we want to output the second word. Okay. Be easier if you could say jump if not 0, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. No, I don't think there's an easier way to do that. Maybe there is. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it. So okay. If it's negative, you're going to output the first word, and then we're going to jump right back to the top and reset everything. Well, first of all, we need to reset everything anyway, right? And we're going to need to copy from here, copy to here. No, we can just use 0. Yeah, because we do not need to loop. We do not need to loop. We can now use 0 as our counter, right? We are just going to copy from here. Yeah. Put that in the outbox. Bump that number now up until you reach... it's until you reach... well, it's until you reach the end of the word, isn't it? But we only have 2 words in the inbox, so we can keep looping around it, actually. Yeah, so that's fine. We're just going to take that loop, and we're just going to output it. Should be okay, yeah? Otherwise, we're going to copy from here and go to the outbox, and then bump this up. And then loop that. Because we know that the inbox only contains 2 words. So once the word is output, that's fine. We don't need to check that we're at the end of the word. Okay, so let's see if this works. Go! I'll be amazed if this works first time. So we're going to output. So we've got I and J. First word. We're going to put unify. on those 5 spots there. Great. Now we're going to find that we have a 0, which will make us then start the next word from memory address 10 onwards. So that's fine. So our bit of code, which outputs the 2 words and puts them onto the floor, working. Nice. Now we're going to reset I and J, and we're going to start taking letters away from each other. So we're going to need to increment that, check the ends. The ends are also going to output 0, so we're going to increment this, and we've got the I and the D. Should identify that this is a negative. No, it's a positive number. Oh shoot, no, we've done it the wrong way round, have we? It should be output D. So I think these 2 are wrong. There, and swap that, and swap that. Should really change our comments, but we won't worry about it for now. Right, let's move that through. We've got unzip, unwed. So far it has always given us 2 words which are the same length as each other as well, which wasn't guaranteed. So now it's looping through these addresses. Right. How does it want us to finish, then? How does it want us to finish? Because we did copy the whole word to the outbox, right? Sorry, let's go ahead and debug that. Oh, now we have 2 words which aren't the same length as each other. That's interesting. Okay, so now it should try and output the second word. It's going to output D, and it's going to output the O. It's running the program further than it. So it wants me to do some kind of check. It's interesting. So, I mean, so yes, I haven't put in any check to make sure that we're at the end of the word. And the game clearly knows that. But what should I put at that point? Because once you output the end of the second word, well, that's kind of it, right? Yeah, I know. Real thinking. Real thinking. Because I've outputted the word correctly. So what's the game expecting me to do? Because there isn't an end program command. I mean, we can certainly add a test to test whether you're at the end of the word or not, right? So what this is you're copying that from 24. Now, at this point, right, no, I and J are not actually at the ends of the words anymore. I and J are at the ends of when the words diverge in terms of their... in terms of their thing. It's when the 2 words diverge from their alphabetization, not the total length of each word. So we're going to have to store the length of each word somewhere. Yeah, genuinely, I'm not 100% sure the best way to terminate the program. So you've reached the end of the word on the outbox. You bump up 23. It's because the game has detected that this is just an infinite loop. This is a little bit of a cheat, right? But I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it to see if that tricks the game into ending. It's never going to evaluate. It would definitely be literally tricking. That's interesting, right? So you've got 2 zeros there, and now you need to bump up I, fine, bump up J. You can't subtract from an empty. This is a bit of a weird one, right? Because this is missing. This is literally a subset of this word. Oh, I don't like that example. Give us a different example, please. Is it going to say that my solution is no good because it can't make it when one word is a subset of another word? Oh, well now I've gone and messed something up. Hang on. What have I done? So D and I are going to test, fine. So we're going to output the second word. Copy from 23. Oh, that needs to be like that anyway. Don't know how that went wrong. No, it's still going to try and copy from. Okay. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay, it's not liking our solution anyway, because if one word is literally a subset of another word, then we're not correctly checking for that. So maybe we do need to store the length of the word somewhere. We could do that. We could do that. Assuming that the words don't go over like 8 characters, let's say. Length I. Length J. Oh, I kinda hate it, but fine. Well, no, it's not going to be length. It's going to be the address value in which the last character is stored. Okay, we'll go with that. So, first word, copy to I, bump I, jump, copy to I, bump I, blah, blah, blah. We want to, if 0 this is what's in the inbox, right? This is going to make our code absolutely horrendous, but we're going to copy from I, copy it to length of I, and bump down length of I. So that's going to be the final address. That's going to be the address of the final character in the block. Yeah, so address number 4. Fine. This one then is going to need to be the same. Copy that from J, copy it to length J, and bump it down. Okay. So that's now both done, and their lengths recorded. Now we're going to start doing the test. So, This is hard. This is hard. So, at the moment, we just copy from whatever's at the address that I is pointing to, and we just subtract J. We need to first test that there exists an element at I and J. So first of all, right. If it's... We need to take the length, we need to subtract I. If that is negative or 0... so maybe we don't want to bump down. Right, maybe we don't want to bump these down. We'll take it as these two are the first address that is actually empty. Okay. So then before we copy from I and copy from J, we need to test whether we're at the end of the word. So we need to are we at end? Right? We need to first of all copy here, subtract that, and if that's negative, we have reached the end. If it's not negative... Oh man, this code is just getting more and more horrendous the more we add this. Because we need to do the same test for J. Right. We're going to need to do the same test for J. And then... if one of them is at the end of their word, we can assume that it's that's the one which is first alphabetically. Yeah. So if that's negative, you need to output the first word, which is actually here. This is why you got to keep your comments up to date. This is why you got to keep your comments up to date. Because that one's the second one. Fine. Otherwise, continue. But we also have to do the second thing, right? Which is copy from J. Subtract length j, and if that's negative, then we've reached the end of the second word in that second. Right? I hope we get a word which is a subset of the other word, just so we can see if that code works now. It doesn't help us in terms of this output code, though, and how you know you're at the output. Except, right, you're going to do output from 24, outbox, bump, jump. We can add a test that says, right, copy from 24, outbox, bump. Bump 24. After you bump 24, subtract the length of j, and if that's 0, just go to the bottom of the thing. Otherwise, jump back round. And we can do the same thing here. After you bump 23, subtract length I, and if that's 0, jump out the bottom here. Right, is this gonna work? Let's see. So we're gonna put 2 words out. We're now gonna put the second word out. Shoot, this being 0, that is not actually gonna be 0, is it? This is not correct. This is not the correct one. We're expecting D here. So step me back, step me back, step me back. What did you do wrong? We copied J, we put 15 in length J. Now we're resetting those counters. Right. Did I copy these the right way, the wrong way around? I think I did. Okay, let's try that. Okay, put the 2 words out. Put the second word out. Right, now we found a 0. So now we're going to put 15 down there. Now we're going to reset I and J. Now we are not negative. Test this one. That's not negative, so we can do the first test. Bump I, bump J. That's still not negative. That's still not negative. We can do the second test. Bump I and J. That's not negative. That's not negative. Do the third test. We are going to output the second word. Is this going to work? Okay. We're getting close, we're getting close. Your solution works with those specific inputs, but it fails on other possible inputs. I will give you some inputs that cause your solution to fail, so you can see for yourself. Go for it. So, dirt and dirty. What? It's going to give me 2 words which are identical? That is dirty. That is dirty. You're going to give me 2 words that are identical and ask me to output the one that is first alphabetically. Wow. So what I need, basically, I just need a subroutine which says, okay, if you actually reach the end of both words, just output a word. Okay, so what have I done here? So it's running through. It's going to subtract these two. It's going to say, okay, well that's not 0. So now bump I, bump J. Are we at the end? Copy from length I. Subtract that. That's negative. I need negative or 0, don't I? Fine. Fine. Yeah. Wait, no, no, it'll never be negative. It'll never be negative, right? So I just need this to be jump if 0, not jump if negative. So where does it go to? We want it to output one of these two things. Where's it going to? Is it going to output first or output second? I think it goes to output first, right? Yeah, okay. So let's get rid of that. And here, let's output second. I think that now works. Okay, let's go! Oh man, if this works, I'll be very pleased. Hey, there we go! Oh, that was horrendous. 47, 109 steps, 121 steps, that's fine, okay. So it's not the most efficient code in the world. But we got it. That was genuinely really quite tricky, actually. Okay. Well, we're pretty much at 22 right there. So usually we'd wrap the stream up in around about 5 minutes or so, but we're going to wrap up there rather than start another level because, you know, genuinely, who knows how long the next level will take us. The final parts of this will be on YouTube in the coming weeks, though. Mostly I'm recording these for YouTube directly rather than streaming them. But it's been great fun streaming with you guys today. Let me know if you want to see more games like this on stream, right? So after 7 billion humans was the next one. What I was going to say is after Human Resource Machine, they did do a sequel, 7 billion humans, which I never beat actually. So if you enjoy this one, let me know in the comments, and maybe we'll play the sequel as well, which could be great fun. That's a lot more about parallelization and stochastic modeling, which is kind of interesting. Very educational for sure. For now though, if you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching. Go and follow me on the Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/thatdesignfeel, and consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, if you did enjoy this episode. So for those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. I will see you soon. Bye bye. For those of you staying on Twitch today, let's have a look and see who is currently live that we are going to go and raid. So I see Cozy